Hey guys, it's my impression of Tony Shalhoub in the classic movie Galaxy Quest. He plays the Scotty role, and he's on the video intercom system down in the engineering room, and he's like, "Hey guys, I just thought you should know the reactor's about to explode, and we're all going to die." Anyway, it's got nothing to do with why we're here. But first of all, a priest, a rabbi, and a gay Viking walk into a bar. The bartender looks at him and says, "What is this? Some kind of joke?" They don't get any better, folks. They don't get any better. I'm sorry. But what I'm here to talk to you about, I got a viewer mail from, where is it? I lost it. Oh, sauerkraut loving granny in the Catskills. Now, this is the first viewer mail I'm using since I announced the contest where anybody who gets used their message is used on the air gets a t-shirt. So Granny, if you're watching, what you need to do to get your t-shirt is you go down to Target, pick out any t-shirt that suits you, walk up to the checkout counter, tell them Muckster sent you, and then you pay for your t-shirt and leave. I bet you're happy now, huh? And I'll bet more people are going to see this and say, "Ooh, I want to send messages and get a t-shirt." Funny thing is, I should mention, some of you, if you stick with me long enough, you might see this, and first of all, hopefully you'll say, "Hey, those marks are back on his wall." And you'll say, "But I've seen him give out other t-shirts before now." Well, that's because this is my Halloween episode, but I am filming it on, I don't even remember what today is. It's like the 4th, maybe? I think it is, actually. Anyway, what the sour granny asked was, "Hey, Muckster, what were your Halloweens like as a kid?" Well, I'll tell you, it's a good question, by the way. The I I don't know, like around here, just how different they are. There are some differences. We, of course, always had homemade costumes. I think for most kids around here, the biggies were always like the hobo, because all you had to do was get some, baggy clothes and stuff, and a broomstick with a bag tied at the end of it. Ghosts were always real popular because all you needed is a old sheet that your mother was willing to let you cut eye holes in, that sort of thing. But I know one thing different from when I was a kid from today. Now, around here, I don't know people who are in other parts of the world. By world, of course, I mean the U.S., because a lot of the world doesn't celebrate Halloween, or at least not in the same way we do. But we still do have trick or treating around here, where kids go door to door. We also, there are places, organizations that sponsor, like parties, or I know the one community organization here is going to be having trunk or treat, where I guess the kids walk around and people pull up and have trunks full of candy. I don't know. Uh, Maybe they'll have elephants. That'd be interesting. We'll have to check that out, huh? Anyway, but I think the big difference is when I was a kid and you'd go to the door and you'd say trick or treat, and some nice old lady would come to the door, and the first thing she'd ask you is, "Do I know you?" Because if you said yes, they would try to guess who you were. It'd be like, "Oh, are you little Danny from up the street? Oh, I bet I know. You're Karen, right?" But I don't think anybody does that at all anymore. Maybe the only time it's personal at all is when it's, like grandchildren and stuff like that coming to grandma's house, and then they'll say, instead of trick or treat, usually they'll say, "Hey, what big teeth you have, grandma." Oh wait, no, I think that's a different thing. Anyway, other than that, now I know I've heard some people say, "Isn't it sad they don't have Halloween parties in school anymore?" As far as I know, Osceola still does. I uh, I don't know if it's like classroom by classroom, but I do know they've had a tradition for several years with a Halloween parade. It's during the school day, but like whatever day it is, I imagine this year it'll be. I think the 30th is Friday, so that Friday would probably be the Halloween party at the school, and they have all the kids. They line up by class. They start with the kindergartners, and they march down the school. They come down Curtin Street, which isn't going to mean a whole lot to people from not around here, but they come down Curtin Street past the park, and then they make a right onto Lingle. And this is what I used to like about it. They went right past the library, so I'd always go out on the front porch of the library and watch them. And they turn up at the next block and go straight back up to the school again. And a lot of people, parents of course especially, but a lot of just people who know about it, they come out, and usually the big places they'll stand at the park and watch the kids come by and take pictures and clap. And I think on a nice day, maybe there's 100 people or so, but I bet those little kids, it looks like the Rose Bowl to them. Uh, Other than that, I think today there's a lot more bot costumes. Um, uh, Kind of running out of things to say about Halloween. I myself never engaged in Halloween antics. And I'm not going to say it didn't happen around here, but I don't think there were really a lot of people, well, by people, of course, I mean kids, it'd be junior high and high school kids. I don't think there were a lot of them going out and like covering houses in toilet paper, or I don't know, covering someone's car in shaving cream or any of that kind of stuff. I used to hear people talk about the old trick of getting a paper bag of dog crap and you put it on someone's porch, you light it on fire, you ring the doorbell or knock on the door and you run away, and then you hide in a bush and giggle as a guy comes out and sees this fire on his porch and starts stomping it out. And of course, he gets a footful of doggy doo. But as much as people would talk about that, they'd say, "Ooh, this is a funny." I have no firsthand knowledge of anybody who did that. Now I do remember one prank. I wasn't involved. There was other guys in my class. I'm not sure if it was Halloween or just one of those let's do it today things. But they went out after school and stood along one road where there was a hill, and they threw eggs at passing cars. And one of the cars that they got was our ninth grade. It was Mr. Supko. I think he was like I don't know if they called him civics teacher, but it was that type of class, you know. And what was funny about it was he then spread the story, and I don't know if he recognized anybody in particular, but he knew it was some of his students. So he had spread the story that I think he said he got like a cracked windshield, and like the cops were investigating and stuff, and so there was like 5 or 6 kids who were a little nervous for a few days there, and Mr. Supko got a good chuckle out of it. And you know, talking about Mr. Supko is I don't remember him really well. I just remember him being a nice guy, and I enjoyed the class, but I enjoyed all the history, civics type classes. That was my thing. Anyway, so that's Halloween. Thanks for your question, Sour Granny, and peace out.